Every morning begins the same way. The alarm rings, but instead of rising for Fajr, the hand reaches for the screen, scrolling through endless images, faces, distractions, each swipe pulling the heart further from where it belongs. By the time he finally rises, Fajr is almost over. He rushes through wudu, chasing the prayer instead of letting it chase him. He stands before his Creator, but his heart is still on the screen. The words leave his lips, but they don't reach his chest. The day continues. He walks through the city, but he's never really present. His eyes are everywhere, yet nowhere. At work, the pattern repeats. Screen after screen, tab after tab. His eyes feast on everything, and his heart starves. And then there it is. The world calls out, flashy, loud, trying to pull his eyes away from what matters. For a moment he stops. The eyes want to look, the heart wants to wander. It feels easier to just look, just this once. But deep inside something stirs, a voice, quiet but firm. A reminder planted in the heart long ago. A verse echoes in his mind. Tell the believing men to lower their gaze. The words hit differently now. He turns his head. He lowers his gaze, not because the world stops calling, but because his heart has chosen something greater. And in that single moment of resistance, something miraculous happens. The noise fades. The chest feels lighter. He looks up at the sky for the first time in weeks, and he realizes what he's been missing. The world was always full of beauty, but the eyes were too busy looking at screens to notice the signs of Allah. He catches his reflection and asks himself, when was the last time my eyes looked at something that brought me closer to Allah? The weight of it hits him, months of wasted glances, hours of lost time, a heart buried under layers of distraction. But here's the beauty of Islam. It's never too late to turn back. The heart doesn't need years to heal. It needs one sincere moment, one genuine, Ya Allah, I want to come back. He walks into the masjid. The silence inside is different from the silence of his bedroom. This silence speaks. The calligraphy on the walls. The words of Allah written in gold. How long had he walked past these truths without seeing them? He opens the Quran, and for the first time in a long time, he doesn't just read the words, he hears them. Each letter feels like it was written for him. In this exact moment, tears fall, not from sadness, but from relief, from the realization that Allah never gave up on him, even when he gave up on himself. He stands for prayer again. Same movements, same words, but this time his heart is in it. In sujud, he whispers, Ya Allah, my eyes wandered, my heart strayed, but you brought me back. Don't ever let me go. And in that stillness, he feels it. A warmth, a reassurance, as if the heavens are saying, I never left you. You just forgot to look. He rises from the prayer mat, different, lighter, as if a chain has been broken. He steps outside, the same street, the same city, the same world, but he is not the same. The distractions are still there. The screens still glow. The world still calls, but something inside him has shifted. He passes the same billboard, the same neon lights, but this time his eyes don't follow. At work, he makes a small change. The phone goes face down, the tabs close. And for the first time, he sees his work as an act of worship. A coworker shows him something on his phone, something he would have looked at before. But now he gently waves it off. On the train home, everyone stares at their screens. But he closes his eyes and opens his heart. The world offers him 100 reasons to look. But he has found one reason that is stronger. The pleasure of Allah. He comes home, takes off his shoes, and for once, the first thing he reaches for is not his phone. He opens his phone not to scroll, but to delete. One by one, the apps that stole his time and his gaze, gone. The phone goes in the drawer. and for the first time in months, the room is truly quiet. Instead, he reaches for the Quran, the book that sat on his shelf, waiting, patient, always ready to heal him. He reads, and the words don't just enter his eyes, they pour into his chest. Every verse a reminder, every page a healing. Maghrib arrives. The adhan echoes from his phone. But this time he doesn't ignore it. He answers. In sujud, the tears come again. But these are different. These are tears of gratitude. Ya Allah, thank you for the reminder. Thank you for not letting me go. He picks up his phone, but not to scroll, to read. The same device that once stole his gaze now carries the words of Allah. That night he sleeps with the misbah on top of his phone, a small symbol, but a powerful one. The dhikr sits above the scroll. The next morning the alarm rings, 4:45 a.m. Fajr. But this time, something is different. He doesn't reach for the screen. He reaches for the miswak. He makes wudu with intention, every drop of water washing away more than just dirt. He stands for Fajr, before the sun rises, before the world wakes up. In the silence of the night, he talks to the one who made the stars. And in this sujud, there is no noise, no screen, no distraction, just a servant and his Lord, heart to heart. The sun rises and so does his heart. He feels it now, the sweetness of faith. The thing his eyes were searching for in every screen, every billboard, every distraction. It was here all along. He stands at the window watching the sunrise, and he realizes the beauty his eyes were always searching for was never on a screen. He walks the same street, the same city, but the world looks different when your heart is awake. The billboard is still there. The screens still glow. But they don't own him anymore. He has trained his eyes to see what matters. He notices things he never noticed before. A flower growing through concrete, the sound of the wind, the color of the sky, the signs of Allah written across creation. While the world looks down, he looks up, and he realizes something beautiful. Lowering the gaze isn't about missing out. It's about making room. Room for the Quran to enter his chest, room for the dhikr to settle in his heart, room for the signs of Allah to reach his eyes. His eyes were once containers for distraction. Now they are vessels for light. And that light? It doesn't just stay in the eyes, it reaches the heart. Lowering the gaze is not a restriction, it is a liberation. It is the believer saying, my eyes are for Allah. My heart is for Allah, and I will not let this world steal what does not belong to it. The eyes are a trust, a gift from Allah, and what we choose to look at shapes what we become. So guard your gaze, not because Allah wants to take beauty from you, but because He wants to give you something more beautiful. A heart that is alive, a soul that is at rest, and eyes that see His signs in everything. Ya Allah, protect our eyes from what displeases you, fill our hearts with your remembrance, and let us see your signs in every corner of this world. Ameen.